Okay, welcome back to Greybeard Finance. I'm at my home at the moment in Adelaide, Glenelg. I'm talking today about my secret love and abuse of OnePass. I use it all the time, but there's a secret of sorts that makes it pay for itself in my eyes. So first of all, I should perhaps explain what OnePass actually is. It's the paid membership program from the Wesfarmers group retail companies. So that's Kmart, Coles, Target, Target as some people say, Officeworks, and recently the Chemist Priceline. Now there are four main benefits from having this service. First of all, you get 5 times the points on eligible in-store purchases and click and collect purchases. Secondly, you get free delivery. Thirdly, you get express click and collect at Kmart and Bunnings. And finally, you get 365-day, 1-year returns at participating store. Now, for me, that is the secret. The 1-year return, I've made so much money on these returns. I tell you, I've changed my time. I change my mind more often than you think. And that to me is the biggest benefit. So I'm going to go through each one and how it's helped me. What does it cost? It costs $4 a month or $40 a year. Though sometimes they offer specials. I'm going to talk about that a bit later. How have I benefited? So first of all, 5 times the points. I've actually linked my Flybuys account to my Velocity account, which is Virgin Airways frequent flyer scheme. And I now have over 200,000 points with them. Bit hard to use at the moment because I normally use them to fly to Europe. And that's not really a great option at the moment with the war going on. But normally that's really handy. And of course, the best use of points is on long-haul business flights, by the way. Yeah, so normally I would try and fly with Qatar Airways, but no, that's not really an option due to the thing going on in the Middle East. So yeah, but I'm sure I use it in due course. So that 5 points has really helped me. I should say at this point, I don't really shop that much at Coles. As someone who values $1, I tend to do my main shop at Aldi. And then things I can't get at Aldi, I will tend to get at Woolworths and often, or sometimes Coles. For example, I do like this super healthy cheese called Eat Lean. That's only available at Woolworths. Or I sometimes go to Coles to buy flaxseed meal, my muesli, things like that. By the way, if you have flaxseed meal, store it in the fridge. Otherwise it loses its mojo. So the app says I've earned 21,728 points from the 5 times feature alone. That seems a bit low to me actually, but because how do I get that 200,000 points? Not sure. And it says that's worth $109 in Flybuys, whatever that means. I guess that's not sure. Secondly is free delivery. So this is a service I occasionally use, mostly with Kmart. I love Kmart products. Anko, I believe, they're just direct distribution. So that they're commissioning these products themselves direct from overseas. And consumers really benefiting from that with the Anko brand. That's the reason if you go to Big W now, you can go to a Big W and you can fire a gun in there and not hit anybody. It's just nobody wants to go there because they're just buying branded products with those big extra costs for the middleman. I'm a bit of a fashion plate, so I tend to buy my fashion products, shorts, trousers and things, from Target often. I have some standards. I do buy my socks and jocks from Kmart. My dress shorts and other things I buy from Target often. Sometimes even other stores. You can feel the quality though. So that's benefited me. Now the big secret to buying things from these stores, particularly fashion items, is to get in early and to get the staff to help you find things. I can never find things in Kmart, but they're often there. It can be quite hard to navigate. And secondly, a lot of items in my size, large, generally, get sold out. Large shirts and pants. And so unless you're there early in the season, often your size isn't there. But if you go onto the Kmart or Target app, you can generally find your size and get it delivered for free. So if you like the item, then you just get it delivered. If you don't like it, you just return it. I've done this many times. Give you an idea of how many times I've actually, and then they deliver it to you from some obscure store in the state generally. Sometimes stores that have closed or are closing. So the app actually tells me that I've saved $506 on savings from free delivery alone. Number 3 is Express Click and Collect. So I've used this quite a few times, mostly with Kmart, but also with Bunnings. The advantage is you know what you need is going to be there when you get there, and you don't have to go hunting for the item, which can take time, or might not even be in stock. That has happened to me, that actually they've come back to me, and although it said it was in stock, I can't find it, and that does happen a fair bit. The disadvantage is you have to generally wait some time. So often there's a queue of some sort of Kmart, depending on the time. And Bunnings or Officeworks, Bunnings in particular, it can take them quite a time to go and get the thing for you because they're not really geared up for it in the same way. And the last one, the killer, is 365 days return. This is the part I've been abusing the system, I think. So let's pay for the annual fee like many times over for me. I'm just going to offer up a few examples. I do a lot of house sitting, and often I get ideas from people's homes how to improve my own home. For example, the place I was at last week house sitting, my Belgium host, Luke, he's got a beautiful pool, and he's got this fantastic pool robot that he uses. So I bought one for my pool. There's a third of the size. I actually bought that one on Amazon. That's worth a treat. And I or my cleaner can easily throw in the pool and not have to do any work. It's a fabulous thing. Still got to clean it out though, but great. So then I saw a floor cleaning robot at another house that I did over Christmas, and I bought one while I was away for $399 on Boxing Day 2025 from Officeworks. And it took me about 4 weeks to pick it up. Because there were several weeks I still had the house sit, and then I picked it up. And then I left it in my house, and I didn't actually open it up at all. And then I decided to do more traveling, and I realized that having that machine didn't really work well with having my house on Airbnb. I couldn't imagine it working at the house. Wouldn't have worked that great. It's not a very big house. So in about April, I decided to return it now to Officeworks, and Officeworks normally only have a 30-day change of mind policy. So when I returned it, they pointed this out to me and basically looked at me like I was a bit of a criminal. I'm stealing something, but they took it back and they refunded my money. And the other good thing is I don't think they even debited out my OnePass points. I got the OnePass points 5 times, I think, but they never refunded them back. So what a deal. I also at one point had all this unopened linen that I ordered from Kmart, and I think it was the wrong size for my cleaner. I think it was king size and I needed queen, or it was surplus to needs anyway. And I'd had it, again, I'd been traveling, I'd had it for quite a long time, months. And I was able to return it without worrying about the return policy. I don't even have to think about it unless it's more than a year, which if that's for a year, then you've had it, haven't you? And just on that, I want to tell you, I buy a lot of luggage from Kmart, and I also return a lot of luggage to Kmart, but it's simply so much cheaper than conventional baggage. But many of my bags have broken. Recently, I returned a large suitcase to Kmart that had an internal clip broke, and then I promptly bought another better price one. Before that, I had a suitcase that had a broken zipper handle. And this happened over the course of months. Again, because of my 365-day return limit, I didn't have to really think about how long I'd had the item. I just returned it. Although, when I got on the plane the other day with my new luggage case, I did leave the price tag on it just in case. It's a good way of knowing it was mine as well. Who else will leave their price tag on their luggage? So, I found it. I just thought too that if it broke again, I wouldn't get the criminal treatment that I got last time at Kmart when she asked me whether I'd actually use the item or not. One tip about flying with luggage, by the way, 2 years ago I bought a massive soft case for, I think, $39 from Kmart. It's a bargain, right? And it went through Singapore Changi Airport and Athens International Airport, and somewhere along that way the internal pull handle was damaged irreparably, So I could not put it back in properly. So I could never get the handle was always sticking out. It's really untidy. So after that, if you're going to buy luggage just getting checked in, buy hard luggage because it's going to get damaged. It's not worth the saving. Maybe it is, I don't know. I don't like throwing things away like that, so yeah, not worth it. Actually, later in that trip, the right wheel got wonky. Maybe the left wheel. One of the wheels got really wonky. So I taped it up in London. I dragged it up the street to the bus stop at Twickenham to get the bus home to Heathrow. I remember checking it in. I had used my velocity points. I had this business class flight. So I remember checking in at Qatar's business class in Doha. And I now know what entering heaven is like. It's really quite a special place when you go in all this marble. And there I was with arguably one of the worst beaten up bags I've ever seen. It just really struck me, the contrast, my beat up bag. Yeah, so as I say, use a hard case. It's worth the investment. And also I get one with more than 2 wheels. My current one actually has 8 wheels. Quite lavish. My current one I only bought for only $79. It's a hard case, wheel, 115 litre beauty. Yeah, so yeah, I think it's pretty much it. I don't believe in paying full price for luggage. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. So why is it great and why am I cancelling? I love it because I said why it's great, and that's because the return policy. It's fantastic, really good thing. And all the other benefits as well. And soon I'm going to be going to London for an extended period. What I am going to do is cancel my membership now. Mine actually renews on the 31st of October. And I think I will be back in Australia by then. Or maybe not, but I probably will be. So if I do cancel it, I think they will make me a retention offer. And that would be probably half price, so $20. So it's worth doing, I think. And if I don't do it, I'll just get another one when I get back. So really, that's the end of this story. If you love Kmart, Target, and Bunnings in particular, and you use those products a lot, I think getting a OnePass is completely worth every cent. Just remember to use the return policy. Peace and love.